Formerly the property of the pirate Captain Rin, self-styled Queen of the Outer Rim, the Peregrine has been substantially modified from its original YT-2400 specifications. The vessel carries two twin-mounted laser cannons, a large smuggling compartment, replaces one cargo area with a luxurious lounge and bar, and mounts a highly illegal customized transponder. The vessel lacks the overtly combat-focused weapons, shields, and hyperdrive modifications of ships like the Millennium Falcon, and is by no means a warship. But the Peregrine is fast, spacious, comfortable, and versatile. It can sneak into places where a military ship would simply not be permitted, and if need be, is still capable of fighting its way out of trouble. This GX-1 short hauler, renamed after the well-known species of space whale, was also formerly the property of Captain Rin and her pirate gang. In stock condition, the GX-1 is a sturdy, spacious, and reliable light freighter. It lacks the speed, flash, and martial prowess of the YT series from Corellian Engineering Corporation, but it more than makes up for this with far greater cargo space and a much lower price tag. However, this vessel is not in factory condition. It has been modified to serve as a pirate boarding vessel, being outfitted with a dorsal ion cannon and ion torpedoes to disable victims. An assault boarding tube has also been added to provide easy access for boarding parties and to permit them to breach the target's hull if needed. Additionally, the sublight drive has been enhanced to provide greater speed, enabling the vessel to run down fleeing civilian targets. Despite this ship's distasteful lineage, these sorts of pirate modifications should no doubt prove very useful to the Resistance. However, it is debatable if this ship is useful to Rogue Squadron. The Wayfarer class medium freighter, produced by Kihraxz Systems Engineering, is a completely unremarkable civilian transport vessel. It carries a token armament, is lightly shielded, and for anything but a starfighter, it is not considered heavily armored. The Wayfarer fits into a gap in freighter size between its main competition from the Corellian Engineering Corporation YT series and larger vessels like the Action 6 bulk transport. Despite lacking most of the attributes which make the YT series freighters stand out, Kihraxz Systems Engineering hoped that the Wayfarer's modular cargo system design would set it above similar vessels of its class. But this very system proved to be the downfall of the Wayfarer, and led directly to it becoming a commercial failure for KSE. The ship is intended to dock with interchangeable modules to permit rapid reconfiguration. Kihraxz Systems Engineering planned to produce a standard cargo module, hangar module, passenger module, and so forth. However, rather than using a pre-existing galactic standard bulk container, KSE chose to use a proprietary design. These modules proved to be unexpectedly costly and difficult to design and manufacture, and the consumers simply did not want them. As such, few modules were produced, and additional modules are very hard to come by. This failure caused the Wayfarer design to sell poorly, and production was short-lived. Due to all of this, the ship has become quite undesirable, and so they can be found for cheaper than one might expect. And it is in this perverse manner that the Wayfarer has finally found a niche with which to compete against the YT series. Simply put, the Wayfarer is much cheaper. In short, the Wayfarer is a simple, bare-bones, no-frills, ugly, and unassuming freighter. They tend to be owned by simple beings just trying to make a living in the universe by hauling some freight. The Kihraxz light starfighter is one of the most versatile and customizable starfighters ever designed. Designed by TransGalMag for the Black Sun Criminal Syndicate, this starfighter has proven to be exceptionally popular and capable, despite its aging design. In factory stock configuration, the fighter provides an adequate combination of firepower, speed, deflector shields, and armor while still being cheap, easy to obtain, and simple to maintain. It handles well in dogfights, but with proper upgrades can be made to outmaneuver an X-Wing. Transgalmag do sell an upgraded version with a pre-installed Vaxi modification package, which increases speed, firepower, agility, and shields, and can even be further adapted with improved avionics. The ship is armed with twin light blaster cannons, one light ion cannon, and a concussion missile launcher. The wing-mounted blasters can easily be upgraded to more powerful light laser cannons if more firepower is desired. In addition, it mounts twin sublight engines on the wings, is hyperspace capable, and can easily be modified to accept an astromech droid for even greater performance. The Incom Sub-Pro Z95 Headhunter is one of the oldest starfighter designs currently still in large-scale production and use, being from the early days of the Clone Wars. When the design was new nearly 65 years ago, it was one of the most capable starfighters in the galaxy. The myriad number of variants of the Z95, as well as the fact that it is still considered to be a useful starfighter so many years after its contemporaries were retired from active service, is a testament to the greatness of the original design. Along with the Incom Sub-Pro ARC 170, the Z95 Headhunter became the basis for the even more successful line of Incom Freitech X-Wing fighters. This Z95 is a modified Z95 AF4S variant, a so-called Hot Hunter. This nickname comes from being hot-rodded with a completely revamped sublight drive, which transforms the otherwise somewhat slow Z95 into an extremely fast fighter which is able to keep pace with, and possibly even outrun, much faster TIE interceptors and A-Wings. The craft is nimble, sturdy, and shielded, and armed with twin light laser cannons on the wings, and a twin concussion missile launcher in the fuselage. However, it does not have a hyperdrive, and it must rely on a carrier ship to get in and out of battle. The Mandal Motors M3A Sick class interceptor is a small, light, and cheap starfighter, being much smaller and cheaper than the Mandal Motors Fang or Gauntlet class fighters, and far older and less capable than the newest Coat class fighter transport. The ship is most commonly armed with twin light laser cannons. However, Mandal Motors will replace the laser cannons with either twin light ion cannons, or a single proton torpedo launcher, or a single concussion missile launcher at the buyer's request. This gives the M3A some degree of versatility, but only at the cost of extreme drawbacks. The hull is only lightly armored, and since the craft is so small, it isn't capable of supporting meaningful upgrades. The Sick class is at least hyperspace capable, and it does mount a deflector shield. However, this shield is very weak, so don't expect to take hits. It's best to use the very small size and high speed to avoid enemy fire. In short, if you're in the market for a small, fast, and cheap fighter to frighten weak opponents, or if you want a cheap ship that can be forced into a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none model, the M3A Sick class interceptor may be just what you need. Otherwise, there are much better options available almost anywhere. The Incom T-65 X-Wing is the legendary workhorse of the Alliance to Restore the Republic, flown by iconic aces of aces, such as Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, General Wedge Antilles, and General Tycho Selju, to name a very select few. The T-65 X-Wing is a galactic symbol synonymous with the Rebel Alliance, Rogue Squadron, and victory. Despite being a nearly 40-year-old design, the ship is still in widespread use as a frontline fighter in major sectors of space. Freitech Corporation continues to manufacture new T-65s to this day for those who cannot afford or who do not want the more expensive and complex T-70 or T-85 models. The core components of these new T-65 X-Wings remains the same. 4 Incom fuselage thrust engines provide high speed and agility, while 4 wingtip-mounted Tamenbach KX-9 medium laser cannons and 2 proton torpedo launchers in the fuselage provide a strong offensive punch. The ship also boasts robust deflector shields and makes very effective use of armor plating, granting the craft its legendary ability to survive battle damage. This excellent package is completed by a suite of Fabritech electronics, as well as the distinctive Carbonti sensor package located in the nose cone. As always, no T-65 X-Wing is complete without an onboard astromech droid for peak performance. The Frytech T-70 X-Wing was the first in a new generation of starfighters designed for the New Republic fleet. Prototypes began to enter limited service as test platforms in the year 5 ABY, but it would be years before the type was ready for mass production, and even longer before the T-70 replaced the T-65 model in New Republic service. The T-70 brings the X-Wing design forward with more powerful 5L5 fuselage thrust engines, longer-ranged Tamenbach KX-12 medium laser cannons, and improvements from Fabritech and Carbonti as well. The T-70 also sports a quick reload torpedo magazine and reprofiled S-foils. The T-70 X-Wing manages to improve on the shielding, armor, and firepower of the T-65 X-Wing, while also offering increased maneuverability and a similar level of speed. The T-70 was eventually replaced in New Republic military service by the T-85 X-Wing. This has made the T-70 much cheaper and easier to obtain, and as such, the T-70 X-Wing has become the backbone of Resistance Starfighter Command. The Starviper attack platform is a Mandal Hypernautics starfighter designed from the days of the Galactic Empire. Its distinctive profile of armored wings gives the fighter the appearance of an insect flying through space. The Starviper is hyperspace capable, but it lacks the support for an astromech droid. However, the true hallmark of the Starviper is its firepower and shielding. Where most starfighters mount twin light or twin medium laser cannons, the Starviper mounts 2 pairs of heavy laser cannons, as well as twin proton torpedo launchers, with a total of 6 warheads carried. This gives the Starviper much more firepower than its main rival in the market, the T-65 X-Wing. The ship also boasts stronger shields than the Cohen's-Air Y-Wing bomber, which is well known for its toughness. On top of this, the Starviper is quite nimble, and with its strange shape, it is able to pull off unexpected maneuvers in close combat. The downside to this heavy firepower and shielding is that the Starviper is quite slow for a fighter in its class, again being similar to a Y-Wing in speed. These attributes make the Starviper deadly in ship-to-ship combat if a little slow. Where the Starviper truly shines is in the role of a bomber or a heavy fighter engaged in attacking capital ships, similar to the Slain and Corporal B-Wings from the Rebel Alliance, as it carries the heavy weapons needed, but has the nimbleness to dodge heavy enemy return fire and the shields to survive a few hits. Overall, the Starviper is a very dangerous adversary, and it should never be underestimated in combat. Thank you for watching this Garvin Griggs production. Edited and rendered by the best pilot droid in the galaxy, #1.